Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and we're back with another Total War Warhammer video. So the Total War Warhammer timeline has always been kinda strange. We've got characters who should be long dead, once again running around and causing some havoc. These are usually characters which are either confirmed dead or assumed dead, but perhaps the strangest thing for me was the fact that Creative Assembly decided to include Solland in the game during the Empire rework. You see, Solland was destroyed hundreds of years back by Gorbad Ironclaw, and yet they've brought it back, and not only that, they decided to make Balthazar Gelt the Elector Count there when, well, he shouldn't be, because he's a Supreme Patriarch, not an Elector Count. So this mod is going to add to the further time confusion in a very wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey sense. But let's not waste any more time and jump right in. As the Grand Barony of Solland, you'll have completely new faction effects known as the Sun of the South. This confers the following bonuses: suitable climate, mountain, melee defense +6 for all state troops, range +20% for archer units, and casualty replenishment +20% for archer units. There is an obvious theme here, and in fact it's going to be very archer heavy throughout the whole playthrough as Solland, which is different. Your character Eldred, a long dead Elector Count I may add, and the last ruling Elector Count of Solland before the province was destroyed, has his own faction effects too. Elector Count of Solland. Well, that makes sense, doesn't it? And that confers the following effects: Attribute, Expert Charge Defense for Greatsword units for Lord's Army, and Leadership +10 when fighting against Greenskins, Lord's Army. This is of course a throwback to the fact that the Greenskins had destroyed Solland. Eldred also seems to have more effects, but aren't attached to his trait specifically. He's got the attribute Vanguard, and of course he's got -5% upkeep for crossbowmen and spears for his army, and local recruitment capacity +1 in all provinces. They are useful effects, though the -5% for crossbows doesn't seem to work too well, as this is mostly a archer heavy build. Other than that, everything else completely useful. Oh, and the Legendary Lord also starts at level 4, so you've got a bit of a head start here, as he's more attributed to that of a General of the Empire, but we're going to check out his skills now. In regards to skills, the general ones, as I said, will focus around that of a General of the Empire. This is a melee lord, and he's fairly decent in melee combat. His unique skill tree, however, will focus around mostly defense. Well, defense and boosting up your archers, making them absolutely terrifying, and they will be able to do a lot of damage. In fact, you'll be able to get them shooting extra, making them pretty much act like elves from Solland. Yeah, it's actually very range heavy. It's an interesting playstyle, as you're relying more on arrows than you are gunfire, which is obviously strange for the Empire. One thing of note is that two specific skills, that of your unique item and that at the end of his unique skill tree, will each give +3 public order to all provinces, meaning that you'll have +6. And that's actually quite good, especially if you're playing as higher difficulties, as that obviously frees up a possible building slot in literally every single province, so you can then possibly add in a different building, focus on economy, or whatever really you fancy. Building wise, there's only one new specific tree, which is the archery range. This allows you to recruit from your archer units and adds in 2 extra archer units, more on them a little later, and also has the benefit of increasing rank recruitment from archers, of course, reducing their recruitment cost, and upkeep reduction -5% in all provinces. The campaign itself should probably be played more like Balthazar Gelt, so instead of doing what I did where I just worked my way into the Empire, you should probably work your way south, taking the border princes, Talia, Estalia, and going to deal with the orcs. There's not really too much you can do going northward rather than just destroying your imperial authority. But hey, Wissenland declared war on me because Wissenland loves to start a civil war for some reason, and then that led to me declaring war on the Reichland, and yeah. Overall, it's not an extensive mod, but it does change up your playstyle with the archer focus. The new units themselves are pretty interesting. The fact that they hold up banners, and they hold it up really well, is so nice. I understand banners shouldn't be a big thing, but hey, you know I like banners. For those of you curious, Balthazar Gelt does get moved back to Reichland, where he should rightfully be, and this character is pretty decent, I've got to say. It's fun. One thing I've done in my own personal campaign is, since I have bonuses against greenskins, I have been declaring war on them as a this is total war, but just specifically against the greenskin factions, and it did play out quite interesting as I started carving my way into the Badlands. The mod itself is technically lore-friendly because, well, you know, Solland exists again for some reason when it shouldn't, because it was destroyed a good... what, 500, maybe more years back? Possibly more? But hey, that's a Creative Assembly thing and nobody else. But with that, the mod itself can be found in the description below if you want to try out something different. And I do apologize for the shorter video today, but I wanted to have a day off, so I'm actually recording this way in advance so I can enjoy my Saturday night off and go out for a few drinks with some friends. But with all that being said, we will be back to normal content on the Monday. Have a good day, guys.